friends, Kim from Stamping Imperfection. Thank you for joining me today. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, I would love to have you click subscribe and click the bell to get notifications every time I upload a new video. So I'm playing with some new goodies today, and this is from a new craft store that opened in the US, and it's called craftstash.us. They were originally only in the UK, and now they're opening a branch in the US, which is pretty exciting because now we have some new brands of things to try here. Here you can see some die sets I got from them. I've got some floral ones, the Hellebore, the Camellia, the Polyanthus. These are Decoupage Delights. Then I have these gorgeous layering cover dies. I have a Foliage one, a Trellis, an Ironwork one. They're 5x7 cover dies. And then they also sent me two stamp sets. One is Thoughtful Time Verses, the other is Happy Time Verses. And I feel like these supplies could give me just endless numbers of cards. Like, there's so much that I can do with them. They have beautiful sentiments in these sets. I can make all kinds of florals varying the colors of the layers that I use, and those cover dies are amazing. So I was really excited to get all of these. So let me show you what I'm going to do here. I want to make some fall cards. So I went ahead and pulled out the dies, and here you can see this one is the Hellebore. I'm not sure I'm saying that correctly, but it's so pretty. And I pulled out the package from the inside, and you can see all the dies included in this. You basically get one leaf stem with 3 leaves and all the layering dies for that, and then 3 different flowers that you get all the layering dies for that. So the most challenging part was to figure out what layers with what. So on the back of these packages, you'll see that there is a layering diagram. So it shows you all the different layers that go for each one of the 4 pieces that you can make here. So I'm just pulling everything out, and I'm going to sort it out and sort it into piles according to what I'm seeing on the back of the package there. So I'm just kind of matching. So this was a little bit of a challenge to start, but I think that I need to get myself some nice magnet sheets that will fit in this packaging, because it does come in a heavy duty like tag board envelope, which means I don't have to come up with separate organization. But I do want to get a magnet that I can put these on. Maybe I'll get 4 separate magnet sheets that I can put these on, and then I can once I get them grouped, then I can group them together when I store them, and I won't have to do this step over again. So I'm just kind of going through and organizing it to start with here. Once I got everything, all the dies sorted, I went through my scrap envelopes and pulled out all the fall colors I could find. This kind of die set is perfect for using up your paper scraps. So that's definitely what you want to do. Go through your paper scraps first, see what you have, and pull out what you can use. My next step was to die cut everything out. So I pulled out the scraps that I had, and while they weren't perfectly matched really, I really wanted to use up my scrap. So I die cut everything out, and as I die cut the pieces, and I tried to go from the largest to the smallest so I could build my flowers in between. So you can see I cut out the first 2 colors, and I'm using that diagram and fitting them together. And you want to, one tip I have is to try to turn the pieces and hold them the way they're pictured on the back of that, and then you can put the pieces together exactly the way they show on the back, because they'll fit in a very specific way, in a very specific spot. My favorite tools here are these reverse tweezers for putting die cut pieces together like this, and glue tubes, or a glue that allows you a little wiggle room, and it has a nice tip on the end so you can get the glue into the small spaces. And I always have a microfiber cloth nearby that I can dab up excess glue with. And some of the hardest parts are the little pieces, like really figuring out where on the flower those go. So the back of the flower, and you can see I flipped it over to look at the picture to see that as well. And I got the flowers and the leaves done on this set. Then I pulled out this beautiful trellis die. You can see there are 3 pieces to this. So I'm cutting 3 different pieces. So I'm pulling out papers that I can use for that. And I decided I wanted to do this in browns just because I had some, and you can see I had some patterned paper that had what looked like bare tree branches. So I decided I would use that. I'm using stuff from my stash. I did not go out and buy anything new here, and I'm excited that I'm using all of these scrap papers. You can always change the colors a little bit by using some ink and blending the ink over the existing colors. Using your inks and your blender brushes or blender foams is a really easy way to change the color to get it more toward what you're hoping you had in your stash. So I went ahead and die cut all of these out, and you can see this is actually a really interesting cover die set, because you get a big rectangular die, which I used for the pattern paper, and then you also get the 2 layering pieces to the trellis part, which is really nice. So I've got all of these here, and I'm going to keep these in a cup because I just might actually do some inlaid die cutting with these, because all of these pieces will pop back in, and you can do some inlaid die cutting techniques with these and make it really interesting. But for my first go around here, I definitely want to keep it simple, so I put the dark brown on top of my pattern paper and started putting these together. 3 felt like too much, so I just played with these for a while till I got something that I liked. And I like that, so I'm just going to keep that in mind. And then I'm going to put the top panel on, and I'm going to offset it a little bit. And I really like the look of that. It feels dimensional, and I like the way it looks. You could actually do way more than just 3 of these florals. You could do enough florals to go all the way up the left-hand side of that. And, you know, imagine different ways you can lay it out. I have this leftover Hello die cut in a cup on my desk. I'm definitely going to use that. So I'm going to go ahead now and just glue these together. You could use foam if you wanted to, but again, I'm just trying to keep these pretty simple for my first go around here, and just play with the pieces and get used to the pieces. And I just dab some glue on the back and just put that right down on top of that pattern paper I'm using for my background. You could make some beautiful backgrounds. If you're like me, I spend afternoons a few times a month just making background pieces. So I always have a bin full of backgrounds that I can easily pull out and use on a project like this. So, you know, use that bin of backgrounds if you have them. Pull out embossing folders, pull out your alcohol inks, pull out your distress oxides and do some ink blending. Like, have fun with it. So again, I'm offsetting this a little bit. You do have wiggle room here, so you know you can go in either direction if you want to. I'm just trying to get it straight so everything looks even, and I really like the way this looks. So I'm going to go ahead and glue all the other pieces on as well. I added some foam on the back of these, and I used my fingers to curl up some of the petals and leaves here, just like that. Just gently curl them up. You can curl them around like the tip of your bone folder, or if you have like a jewel picker or something like that, curl them around that and give them a little bit of dimension. So the finishing touch here for me is going to be to add some metallic pearls on top. So I'm just pulling out some gold pearls here, and I'm just going to put them on top. I decided that they would look like nail heads or something on those spots on the trellis. So everywhere those show, I want to put one of these. And I tried a couple different colors. Like I had a gold and a more, I think the other color was called champagne, from a couple different places. So I decided to try those out. And a nice, like this one has adhesive on the back already. So a nice jewel pick is a useful thing here. A nice pair of tweezers or like a jewel placement tool is very nice. So that's what I have here. And I'm just placing those down there. And that's going to complete this card. I may add a secondary sentiment from one of those stamp sets when I'm ready to send this, but I like the end result. I also created a second card using the Camellia floral layering die and the Foliage 5x7" cover die. And I only used one of the layers on the foliage for that one. You can see I also cut out a green layer. I decided just to go with one layer because I really liked the way that looked. So you can actually use just one of these cover die layers. You can use both of them, whatever you want there, and you get some really pretty results here. So I feel like the possibilities are really endless. And I don't have a sentiment on this yet. Eventually, when I go to send this, I'll put a sentiment on that. And I love the way that looks. So thank you so much for watching, friends. I would love it if you give this video a thumbs up, and have a great day.